Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
I feel like it's, authenticity is something that people have linked so closely to content creation over the last couple of years.
In what
and
way?
and then you start, I mean, like it being the most key value
Okay.
that all content creators or influencers need to have.
Okay.
To a point where authenticity was fabricated, right?
Right. It's a fine line. There's a fine line there.
Exactly, where authenticity was faked.
Right.
And so I think the word I like to use now is congruence, which means to actually live authentically, right?
Okay.
To follow through with what you talk about.
Okay.
And I think for that to happen, the two key values that we hold dearly are transparency and honesty.
Okay.
And as content creators, if you're able to make that shine, then you can take on projects and whatever brands, because there's always a way to make something work for you as long as you're honest and transparent about it. Like you'll have a lot of content creators that you probably don't know about that on YouTube randomly they pop up and I'm like, these people are 10 times bigger than what I'd ever be, like in terms of views, virality, and everything. And that's because they're so authentic and they're so real. But they're very hard to brand. And that's why you have a lot of these people with 10 million views per video, but you don't have a lot of branded deals coming in. And it doesn't really matter because they're probably earning a lot on the platform itself.
Correct.
Whereas for me, I don't make viral content, so I don't earn as much on the platform. I'll earn more by the brands.
On the brands, okay. That's another way of looking at it, yeah.
But when these people get 10 million views, and if they were able to get a branded sponsorship deal, their community, because they're so used to them being so honest and transparent and real, their community would be so happy for them. They'd be like, oh, good job. Good on you for getting that deal and everything, because they've seen them grow through the platform. And so
you're able to maximize both the platform and the branding.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Okay.
For me, it's been a process because in the beginning, I was mostly talking about health and fitness and fat loss. So every time I would make like a lechon kawali dish, people would get mad at me. Or let's say I worked at the brand like Pure Foods, and people would be like, why are you working with a corned beef brand? Because you're all about health and fitness. And I was just like, you think I eat celery every day? Like I eat bad things too. And then I realized it's not on them, it's on me. Like I just wasn't transparent enough because I'm very selective with what I show people.
Right.
Because my life isn't online.
Right.
A lot of the younger people who are now content creators, their whole life is online.
I like that you mentioned that you make
so
that
for
distinction.
Me,
right.
That's why I always tell people I don't necessarily vlog with a V, because the term vlogging is usually meant for people who are used to holding the camera,
selfie stuff, the selfie,
shooting themselves and talking about their lives,
yeah,
right?
Right.
Some of them do it really well. Me,
of course.
Like I told you a while ago, if I were to shoot my life, people would be bored to death because I don't have that personality to be able to talk about my life that way.
Same here, yeah. I agree.
So that's why I do recipes, because the video has a point.
Right.
It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm going to show you how to make kare kare. Let's get there. I'm going to show you how to travel to Shanghai in 48 hours and what to do there.
Yeah, because you do also obviously delve in traveling. Right.
So it has structure, right?
Right.
And that's what I loved about TV shows is the structure. It's the structure of the story versus one person just storytelling. And so, I realized that for me, I was very different from what everyone else is doing online. And so what I needed to do to be able to kind of but to show people more of myself. And that's when I started doing the travel stuff.
Right.
That's when I started doing things that were slightly out of my box so that people would understand, oh, he doesn't just eat healthy food and make healthy food.
Okay. I hear that. Now that you're getting into that, or now that you're evolving that part of yourself because you want to show more of yourself and be a little more transparent, how now do you determine when you shouldn't? Like, for example, your wife, and now obviously your baby, they're going to be, if not they're already the talk of the town, right? They like, in the celebrity world, they always like access, right? They want to see things. They want to see what's going on. And it's hard for some not to show these things. For others, it's very natural to them. And, God bless them that they can do it so naturally without any hesitation. For you personally, how now do you draw the line? Especially that obviously your wife's a big star. The baby obviously is big star just by virtue of being your baby, right? How do you draw that line now? And what kind of conversations do you have with yourself to say, oops, nope, not this part?
I think both of us have been really good actually at keeping most of our private life quite private. I think if you look at, other couples out there, or in terms of how much we've shared over the years, we've been together for like 10 plus years now.
Right.
I have 400 videos on YouTube. She's in 10 of them, maybe. If I really wanted to, I would have leaned into it a long time ago.
I bet, yeah.
But
if it was just about the numbers you're talking about.
Correct. And I know today, if I want to make a viral video,
right,
I just have to shoot my daughter and my wife. Like that's all I have to do if I want to make bank on that. Right. But it doesn't sit well with my values.
Okay.
And so that's why I think for me, for both of us, it's actually always come naturally to just be very not careful, but it actually comes very naturally in terms of what we want to and what we don't want to share.
Protecting your relationship.
I think it's important to have that.
I agree.
That part of your life that's not out there.
Right.
So if you look at my Instagram feed, it's not done on purpose. It's really not done on purpose, but it just so happens that maybe the last picture I posted of either my wife or Dahlia was probably months ago, probably 2 months ago. And it's not a conscious decision. It's just when I have something or I take a really nice picture and I'm like, oh, this is so nice. And I think people would appreciate this. And I think,
but I bet you have 1,000 other more pictures that is just between the two of you, right?
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
And
right.
So for me, I've always been about posting with intent.
Okay.
So I don't randomly share things. It's just when I see something that I feel could add positivity or beauty to the world, or that could start an interesting conversation, then that's when I'll put up a post about it.
Do you and your wife sit down and talk about these things? Do you have that conversation? No, it just comes natural to both of you also? Because
I'm lucky that we have the same personality in that aspect.
Right.
And because we both know, well, I when I have, let's say I have 4 million followers on Instagram, each time I put up a picture, in my head is, what does 4 million people look like? Like, can you imagine that? No.
Hell no.
Would you ever be given a microphone and say, hey, say hello to 4 million people? No. But that's what Instagram does. It puts you in front, potentially, of all these people.
That's what I used to think about radio when I started, or on TV, right? I mean, there is that certain parallelism between.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And when you start thinking about that responsibility, you're just like, oh, okay. Like, let's take a step back here and understand what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay.